Hi everyone, I am Venugopal from Team CloudyML. Welcome back to another amazing podcast. Today we have with us a very special guest, Dishad Jahan. He is currently working as a data analyst. So Dishad, welcome to this channel and tell us a bit about yourself and how you are doing.
Yeah, hi Venu and hi everyone. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. First of all, it's always great hearing from the place that actually taught me a lot of things. So, coming about myself, I have around 5 years of experience, but not into data analytics. I completed my graduation year 2015 from Christ University, Bangalore. I did my graduation in BCom. So I'm completely a non-IT guy. After that, I was placed as an analyst, where I worked as a financial analyst for a bank, ANZ Bank. Then after that, I worked for a very small organization back in my hometown, RRO2 Agency. Then after that, I lost a job during COVID, and it was quite a big hit for me. Almost around 6 to 8 months, I was jobless. At that point of time, I have to take up a sales job. So as a field sales executive is what I got a job with a good company, a product-based company, Empa Orthodontics Private Limited. Everyone knows it as Tootsie, with a brand ambassador of Anushka and Virat. So there I worked as a field sales executive, visiting clients at home and demonstrating the products. Then there I worked for 1 year. It was a contractual role. And after that, I took a gap of a few months. I learned the entire course from CloudyML. Now I'm sitting here as a data analyst working for a top product-based company called Aviva. So that's all about me.
That's great. That's great. It's really inspiring to hear that, like, from non-IT background to sales, then to again analyst background. So
Yeah.
it's really good to hear that. So for those who are not familiar with him, so he is one of our student for a popular course, and he has just started his new position as analyst at Aviva. So that's really good. So talking of your interest towards the analytic field, so as you said, you were from a non-IT background, right? So
Yeah.
like, what made you develop interest towards this analyst field, like
Okay.
analytical field? Yeah.
All right. So this story gonna be pretty awesome because when I was working for my last organization as a sales field sales executive, uh, after I left the company, my contract got over. Uh, the city operations where I was working, it was shut down after 1 month. I tried to understand what exactly happened there because my colleagues lost the job. So I got to know that they didn't get any leads or they didn't had any data coming in from the data team. So I it was a curiosity. I need to understand as to what this data team is all about and what data they're talking about, how it actually affected a lot of people, how they have came up with such a decision of stopping an operation. Maybe it was a negative thing, but it actually created a curiosity inside me as to what this team does. So I tried to understand. I went into a research mode. What this data is, how it is been used, and then that is how I came into the concept of data science and data analytics or data engineering. So, and the more I deep dive into all these uh, topics, it actually created a lot of sense to me as to what this people does and how important is this role into an organization and how decisions have been made out of the findings that these people put across to these stakeholders. And I really wanted to be a part of this kind of a team. And somewhere I felt that yes, I'm not going to say that my job will be recession proof, but to some extent, if I can say that yes, if I work hard, I would be in a better position when things are going down south in a lot of countries. So that is how I came across data science and data analytics.
Got it. Got it. That's good to hear. Like, many people feel that only there are few roles like data scientist, ML engineer, that's it.
Yes,
But these are sort of roles, that is data analyst, business intelligence engineer,
correct.
business analyst, or data engineer. So these are like the main thing, I would say, because they really understand the business problems,
Yeah,
do the most of the work related to the data, and
yes,
then they bring down all the good amount of data for the further work that is handled by data scientists or ML engineers. So that's
yes,
the real thing that is done in the real world scenario. So
yes,
it's good to hear that you were driven towards that. So
yeah,
that's great. And as you mentioned before, like, you have taken up a course on CloudyML, which helped you transition to this field, right? So, like,
Yes.
how did you stumble upon this CloudyML course? Like, was it referred by any of your friends, or did you just happen to see it on internet, or how did you encounter CloudyML?
Yeah, it was like one of a risk I have taken up, but it turned out to be a very profitable risk. And I did a lot of research, and I found out that yes, there are things in YouTube where I can go through, but nothing was structured at that point of time. So I didn't know, like being from a non-IT, non-CS background, no idea as to how I need to go about this area or this field. I needed like a hand holding kind of a coach who can, like, it can take me from the very first step till the last step of getting me a job or making me a job ready, not getting me a job but making me a job ready. So I did a lot of research, came across a lot of courses, yes, but also I need to see whether it was pocket friendly or not, and whether it covers a lot of things or not. So that is how I came across CloudyML. I first of all I went through the entire curriculum of CloudyML. I took up the data science mega combo package, and I saw that everything was covered at it, from Python to machine learning to deep learning to programming language like R, SQL, then there is Excel, there is Power BI, Tableau. So from A to Z, everything was covered. So why not to go for this? Because some of the other courses that were charging more, and they did not touch. Sometimes they did not touch R. Sometimes they did not touch Python, but they've given R. So those are the things that actually made me skeptical of towards those courses. But those things actually, helped me decide that I should go with CloudyML. So, and it since I had also gone through few reviews of CloudyML, which was there at that point of time, and the reviews were pretty awesome. So that also, helped me take a decision towards CloudyML. Yeah.
Got it, got it. Like you have mentioned all these points, and my next question was actually regarding that. Like, what made you choose CloudyML? Because there are a bunch of courses in the market, and most of them are already popular, and we are like growing in the market right now.
Yeah.
So, like, if you want to, like, if you'd like to condense everything into some few points, like, what are the few points that you want to highlight to other audience who want to take up the course?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So first thing is it is absolutely structured. So a person who is completely new to this field and does not know where to start from, I would definitely go ahead and suggest them CloudyML course because it's completely structured. It starts from the very basic to the advanced level. So the first thing that a person look for is a structure. How do they need to go ahead, right? Second thing is it's completely self-paced learning. You can learn at your own pace. There is no such called as, you have to be available at this point of time. No, it is not like that. As soon as you're free from your work, whatever you're doing currently, you can go ahead, take some time out, and you can complete, cover few topics for the day. Secondly, I would say the support that CloudML provides when it comes to doubt clearing, it's pretty awesome because they are available almost on those time where when I needed them the most, right? So that was amazing. And projects that they include in every step of um, the course. Basically, now let's say I'm doing the SQL, right? So they start from basic. So in basics, they have a project. In intermediate, they have multiple projects, and in advanced, they have another multiple projects. So those projects also, it was like it helped me to summarize all the things that I've learned, and also those projects gonna help when it comes to interview purpose. So those projects also helped me, and I included most of these projects in my resume and also in my LinkedIn profile. So that actually helped me a lot to understand and to grasp the things which the entire data analyst essence is, or data science essence is all about. So these are the things that CloudML have captured pretty perfectly. So, and these are the things that actually helped me decided to stay with this program.
got it, got it. It's really good to hear. Like the courses were designed in such a way, like whatever points you have discussed,
Yeah.
the same things were discussed like when we were creating the course as well.
Yeah.
So I hope you have found some interesting thing in the whole course. So I feel all the audience or the people who are watching this video will be able to get these points, and it will help them to take a firm decision.
Yes.
So that's good to hear. So as you said, like you have recently joined the organization Aviva, right? So could
Yes.
you just brief us about the interview process, or you can also like tell us the journey, like how, when did you apply, or how many rounds were there, and regarding what the rounds were about. So it would help us, the other listeners as well. So
Yeah,
yeah,
sure. So this is not like a demotivation, but something kind of a motivation that I'm gonna tell. All
yeah,
right. So I have applied more than 350 plus companies, right? 350
um,
plus companies I have applied. Almost 95% of the companies rejected me right then and there. There are a few companies, almost around 17 to 18 companies that given me a chance. But due to I belong from a non-CS, non-IT background, right? So there were
yeah,
instances where they had to go with other options. Yes, they have
okay,
a valid
yeah,
point, but
yeah,
that's when Aviva come into picture.
mhm,
So the entire process was consisted of around four. It was around 5 rounds. All
okay,
right. The very first was a screening round, which was done by an analytics senior analytics manager who was from the US.
okay,
And that person actually wanted to see, or it was just a normal briefing about my entire experience altogether till now, and
okay,
what are the things, or what are the projects that I have worked on,
okay,
and how, and a few basic questions about data analysis. It was almost around for 1 hour. After that, I got a call saying that yes, you have cleared this round, and then another. The next 3 rounds were technical rounds. So the second round was SQL. So they asked me a lot of basics to intermediate to advanced level questions as well. So SQL run was there. Then after that, I had a Tableau, and then after that, a Power BI. So Tableau run was because I was good with Tableau, but not so great with Power BI. So that's why have given me another chance. So they have given me a week's time after completing the Tableau round. They have given me a week's time saying that if you could brush up your knowledge on Power BI, because our organization works the entire MS Microsoft package. So they have Power BI included in it.
okay,
So they have given me a 1 week's time to prepare for Power BI so that we can have a discussion on Power BI. So the basically the fourth round was on Power BI. After that, I had the last managerial round where my reporting manager was there,
okay,
and he congratulated me as to clearing all these rounds, and
okay.
that is how the entire process was. The entire process took around 1 month time.
Great, great. And I feel like what are the topics you have mentioned, I think those are covered in our course.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
yeah. And based on that, like, could you say like how CloudyML course helped you for preparing for the interviews? Like, do you feel anything was missing in the course, which was asked in the interview itself? Yeah.
I believe no, but
Okay.
yes, the thing is, all the basics were pretty much covered in CloudyML itself. So that is how my basics were strong. That is how my basics became strong. And when I was asked like questions, it was quite easy.
Got it.
So those were the things, that is why I'm so thankful to CloudyML. From very basics like joins and subqueries, then nested queries, then up to advanced level of Windows functions, cursors, recursive methods, CTE, everything was covered. So those actually gave me a good understanding, and the way it was being taught in CloudyML, right? So it also made me put me in a position where when they asked me a certain question, I was able to make them understand in the most easiest way possible, because the entire program in CloudyML is in a very simple language, so it is quite easy to grasp also.
Got it. Got it. That's interesting, actually. And yeah, like you said, like you have mentioned all the technical skills that were asked in the interview, right?
Yes.
And being a data analyst, there are a lot more things other than the technical skills that
Yeah.
are required, right? So could you throw some light on what are the other skills that are required for a data analyst or any analytical person for bagging these sort of offers?
Yes. So communication is something that they look into, because on a day-to-day basis, we need to talk to stakeholders a lot.
Yeah.
Because talking to stakeholders is something is very important, because that actually keep us on track with the project where we all are being involved. And it's just not one or two stakeholders, there'll be multiple stakeholders. And there will be sometimes, you should also be a person who is also good at handling disputes between stakeholders also, because there might be certain instances where one stakeholder might not agree with what you're saying, with the other stakeholder might agree with it, right? So we need to put everyone in line to what we are achieving here. So how to handle stakeholders and a good communication is something that we need to have along with the technical skills. And for me, how I worked on my communication skills is because I was into sales and I had to talk to a lot of people. Trust me on
Okay.
this. So
Got
that
it.
is how I created or built my communication skills from the scratch. So, and to be effectively communicating to the stakeholders is a very important, and that is what from the very first round of your interview, the interview panel will see. There are people who are very good in technical, but they are not good with communication. So it might be a no-no for the company. They
Okay.
It should be a good balance, a subtle balance between
Mm.
both. The person should be sound technically and also sound communication ways. So, and I believe even those things have been pretty much covered, because when I hear the videos of how CloudyML talks about various things, so
Yeah.
that actually I learn a lot of things, the jargons, how a few things, how we need to explain a certain complex topic of anything, right?
Yeah.
So if we give more focus to what CloudyML is trying to teach, it not only the technical aspect of it, but also the communication, how we need to talk to someone else, right?
Got it.
So those
Yeah.
were things also been covered there pretty awesomely. Yeah.
Great. Great. And I feel like this is the most important skill many
Yeah.
people ignore as well.
Yes.
Like a lot of people feel that only technical skills are required, but when it comes to actual role or actual working, this is also something which is required on a daily basis. Like
Yes.
as you said, we need to communicate with stakeholders as well. And many people feel that this is something very hard to learn. And what I feel is we can learn this only by communicating. We
Yes.
need to talk to others on a continual basis. Like as
Exactly.
you said, when you were in the sales role, it helped you a lot.
Yes.
So likewise, if we communicate with our friends or any other person continually, I think that will be gradually developed,
Exactly.
as we have seen in your case as well. So that totally supports that. Cool, cool. So let us wrap this up with one last question. So,
Mhm.
what is your suggestion for the people who are trying to get into this analytical field? So, may it be a fresher from a non-technical background, may it be a fresher from the technical background, or may it be a person who is already experienced but not in CS or IT related field. So, what is your suggestion for them?
Yeah, to never lose hope, because the market is not pretty much straight right now. It's very volatile due to recessions which are not in our control. But keep on practicing. Practicing is the main key factor here.
Yeah,
And how the entire structure is, if they are not in CloudML also, if they are going to some other, if they are following some other program as well, it is just that they need to focus on the structure and believe in their process and work on their communication skills, and also work more in I would say the projects plays a very important role in getting the job. And also it's not always about Python for data analysis, but yes, for data science, Python is included. But for data analyst position, Python is a 50-50% chance of being included. But the most important thing for a data analyst, the technical skills which they need is SQL and Excel, and any of the and any of the BI tools like Power BI or Tableau, it is fine. So rest of it, like the company is going to provide, and the training will be there internally.
got
So
it.
just have patience, keep on applying. And yes, there is a company out there for anyone who's watching and is feeling stuck somewhere. That
Yeah.
the company is waiting for you.
Got it. Got
Yeah.
it. That's really a good suggestion. And what I can empower is like continual learning and patience is the key for
Patience. Yeah,
getting a
exactly.
job. Yeah. So
Yeah.
those two are the main things that we need to keep in mind.
Yes.
So yeah, so I think that that's a good point, and we can end this podcast here itself. So thank you, Disha. Thank you for sharing your story. It was really inspiring, and it was inspiring for me as well, like for my future career as well. So thanks a lot for joining us. And
Thank you so much.
yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and please do subscribe our channel, and let's meet in next amazing podcast. Till then, keep learning, keep hustling. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.